Today I'm canning strawberry juice because I have plenty of strawberry jam, strawberry pancake syrup, frozen strawberries, and I'm still neck deep in strawberries. Actually, this is a great way to preserve strawberries because it's so versatile. I use this to make strawberry lemonade, strawberry ice cream, strawberry glaze for cakes and pies, many things. I'm sure you can think of 100 ways to use this too. So here's how I can strawberry juice. I took the caps off the strawberries and washed them, then I ran them through a juicer. This is a Jack LaLanne power juicer. I don't know if it's any better or any worse than any other juicers. All I know is this one works, and folks are sure to ask what kind it is. You don't have to use the juicer though. You could use a food strainer, a blender, or mash them up by hand and strain them through a damp jelly bag or several layers of cheesecloth. The juicer makes things easy though, and as you can see, it does a great job of removing the seeds and pulp. My only complaint is that the juicer creates quite a bit of foam. I poured the juice into a large pot, added enough sugar to sweeten it to my taste. Generally, you add a quarter to half cup of sugar per quart of juice, and that can vary widely depending on your berries. You don't have to add sugar at all if you don't want to, and if you plan on making jelly out of this juice at any later time, you should not add sugar to it now because the sugar needs to be added to the pectin when you go to make the jelly. So I heated the juice to 190 degrees for 5 minutes, then I was ready to can. I had my lids and rings at a simmer and my jars hot and ready. I took a hot jar and filled it within quarter-inch of the top. It's best to can one jar at a time when you're canning because it reduces the risk of contamination, it keeps your jars nice and hot, and it also reduces the risk of making the same mistake to every jar in the batch that you're working on. I wiped the rim of the jar, added a hot lid and a hot ring, and I tightened it firmly. Now, the ball company says you don't have to heat your lids and rings anymore if you don't want to, but this has always worked extremely well for me and I don't mess with success, so I'm still heating mine. Then I put the jar back in the canner to stay warm until I had all the jars full. Then I lowered the rack into the canner, made sure there was at least 1 inch of water covering the jars, and put the lid on the canner. When I see steam coming out from under the lid, I start my processing time. I processed the jars for 15 minutes, then I turned off the heat, removed the lid, and let the canner sit for 5 minutes. I removed the jars from the canner and placed them on a towel on the counter to cool. The next day, I removed the rings, washed the jars, wrote strawberry juice on the top and the date that I canned them. So that's how I can strawberry juice. I hope it helps.